Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Welcome to our third session of school improvement planning. So I'll just wait for one more minute. Like some of us, they will join. Okay, some of other friends, and then we'll start with the third session. So in the meanwhile, if you want to introduce yourself and your school or institution that you represent to, so you are most welcome to open your mic and speak, please. So before we start with the stuff, okay. So it was actually on very short notice. I just conducted this session. So let's start with the stuff itself, like school improvement planning. Before I start, I'll just introduce myself. My name, as it is mentioned right from the screen itself, my name is Muhammad Anwarul Haq. Uh, Presently, I'm providing my services as a school improvement consultant, and obviously, I have handful experience of school leadership, like starting from middle leader up to senior leadership team. So I have worked very closely with the school improvement planning. Definitely, it is part of our job, and moreover, very closely with different kind of workshop being held by Ministry of Education and even for this Sharjah Education Academy. So anyway, we will be starting with the stuff like if we move. No, the first thing that we are going to do, it is language of the framework that we should be very much aware of what exactly is the language of the framework. So there are six levels of the framework which we should keep in our mind, like outstanding, very good, good, acceptable, weak, or very weak. Similarly, once we are talking in terms of quantitative terms, so it is almost all. Okay, then it is most, large majority, which is actually referring to 61 to 74%, and majority, which is going from 50 to 60%, and large minority, minority, and all. Next thing, which is the progress of the school. Once we are talking about the progress of the school, we have to keep this thing in our mind, like what are the criterias if we are moving from one school is moving from good to very good or from very good to outstanding, if we have to work for how we are going to achieve this target, like what are the steps that we need to do, what are the things that we have to keep these things in our mind, especially once we are keeping this inspection framework in our in our mind. So today the most important thing is the standard one, the student achievement, and we are talking about the progress, how we are going to monitor the progress of a lesson. Okay, so it is holistic approach. Once the inspection is there, so once the inspectors are there from the Ministry of Education, what exactly they are looking for to monitor the progress. So there are two main things, like being a teacher or the leader, middle leader, or the senior leadership team member. If you are if you are part of this thing, like you are going for inspection, and you have to, first of all, you have to have your self assessment, like what exactly, where exactly your school or institution at present it stand for. We call it self evaluation. So self evaluation, after the self evaluation, you have to produce, like, okay, you have to present yourself like, this is my evaluation of my school. I think my school is actually in this state of condition, and then you have to justify through the evidences that you are going to present in front of the inspectors or in front of the team that is actually leading the inspection. So before, in the previous section, session, we were talking about 1.1, which was attainment. As a teacher, you must remember, or as a middle leader and the senior leader, standard one is known as an obligatory standard. If any school want to progress from one level, one rank to the next, this standard must be achieved. It cannot happen. All other standards we are taking outstanding or very good, but in student achievement, the standard one, we are actually not scoring the way we should score. So you cannot be outstanding or very good or good school until unless you do the same with the standard one, which is 1.1, which was attainment. We discussed it already, and 1.2, which is progress. So once we are talking about the progress is actually for, for the progress, we need certain kind of benchmarks. You in order to monitor the progress, you should be having something, some data, which actually reflect that when are you, what, from where you have started. You should be having a starting point. Okay, this is the most important part, that we should be having a starting point, that exactly from where you started, and what is the, how you are moving into the into the process of this thing, like from where you started and at present where are you, and what are you trying to achieve in your in future, like in a couple of months, or in about second term or the third term. It depends upon your the data that you are going to present. So for first of all, it is 1.2, which actually represent progress of students, including those with special education need and gifted. And obviously you have to have gifted and talented students. You should be have SE and special education need kids, moreover, as a holistic approach to the class. Now, for example, once we are talking about the outstanding, I was starting from the outstanding. It depends upon your school, where exactly you are, from where you are representing. Okay, so once you are representing a school which is actually moving, which is acceptable school, so you have to look for one step or two step ahead. So if you are at present, currently you are acceptable school, then you have to look for good or very good. So how we are going to read the inspection framework? This is the way of reading the inspection framework. We have to work according to the framework only, and only then your school will be rated good, very good, or outstanding. Just for an example, if your school is rated as good, so it is, what exactly does it mean? Currently you are large, actually the majority of the students, they are performing better than your expected levels. They are progressing better than their expectation, your expectation. So in order to, and moreover, already majority means 50 to 60%. Now you have to move from majority to large majority, like you are moving from good to very good scale. So now what you need to do, you have to make it from 50 to in fact 60 to 74% of the students, they should perform, this is your they should perform above than your expectation. So once they are, you are able to showcase that your students are performing above than the expectation, only then you are going to be rated as very good school. So this is first thing that we have to keep in mind. Similarly, like in this case, which is progress of students, including your special education need and gifted and talented, you should be having some strategies how you are going to monitor their progress. So obviously there are diagnostic, which we start with the beginning of the year. Diagnostic analysis has to be shared, where exactly the students they were at the beginning of the academic year, and with the progress, with the first term or in their internal assessment, whether they are formative or summative assessment, how are they performing. Similarly, if you, this is about the special progress of the students with in terms of internal and external assessment. The second is progress in the lesson. Now this is very important as a teacher, that you should know, once the students are there inside your class, how they are progressing in the lesson. Now, how you justify this thing, if you are, again, if you are moving from good to very good school, or for example, you are moving from weak to acceptable school, you must remember this framework language. What exactly you need to perform. So for example, again, if we are moving from good to very good school, what we need to do, like large majority of the students, they perform better, they show better progress in the in within the lesson in terms of your learning objectives. Whatever the learning objective you have created, first of all, they should be according to the Bloom taxonomy. And secondly, what we need to do, like how much you are able to achieve, you have to show in number that large majority, which again I reiterate, from 60 to 74% of the student lot which is sitting inside the classroom, they have performed, they have achieved what exactly you wanted to teach them. This is very important. So in this way, what we'll do, like you will be able to show the progress of the students. It can be done in different ways. Like you can ask them, they can raise their hand, or you can use some online tools where you can directly show the progress of the students in real time using AI or digital platform is one of the most important aspect within the school environment to showcase your progress. This is one of the easiest way on spot in real time. Now, next thing is progress of different groups of the student. Now, exactly this is the most challenging part as a teacher or as an institute. Group work, how to manage the group. First of all, once we are making the group should be heterogeneous, like it should be having mixed ability of students. Students with the mixed abilities, they should be part of that group. This is first thing. Second thing, there should be a job description, like roles have to be defined with the student that what exactly each student in one group is supposed to do. You have to define the role, like one will be the leader, one will be the speaker, one will be the timekeeper, blah blah. So it is according to your planning, you have to go for it. This is the second aspect. And then the third most important aspect is how the group students in one group they perform. Normally what we have seen, majority of the institutes, they fail in group work. Why? Because although they have created mixed ability groups, they have even given the practice for their roles within the group, but unfortunately the participation of the student within one group, like normally what happened, one or two students they are working, or sometimes in some students they are working, and majority of the students they are just waiting, or they are just distracted with different kind of activities. So if you want to make a best group, if you see the outstanding part, you will see all groups within one class environment of students make better than expected progress. Now please, as an educator, you must remember this thing. Whatever the task you are assigning for your kids, first of all, they should be age appropriate. Secondly, they should be according to their level, because if you exceed their level, again there will be a problem. They will not be able to perform. And if you give them a task which is below their level, then obviously what will happen? Majority of the students they will be finishing, and there will be no critical thinking or some kind of innovation which is need to be brought into the lesson. So please remember, you have to analyze the student achievement or the progress of a group through this medium, which the slide which I have shown. Okay, this is actually, you can easily say what exactly you want to move one step next in your institution. So if you want, if it is a very good group, what are the features of a very good group? The students, most of the students, which is from 75 to 90% of the students groups I'm talking, they make better progress than expectation. This is again very important. Like whatever your expectations are, they should be very much clear. Let's move to the next. Now it is 1.3, which is learning skills. Now, for nowadays, all across the globe, these things are one of the important things, like we skill development, 21st century skills, digital awareness for the kids. So students are ready. all the students, they are actually familiar with global citizenship and the things which are actually help them in coming future to achieve whatever they want to achieve in their career or whatever they have planned for different universities, and they can perform according to the latest technology, so they are not lagging behind. So here, student engagement and responsibility of their own learning. Now, this learning skill is one of the most important part in this is here comes, if you want to, bring a culture of self learning, self-paced learning or independent learning, what we need to do, we have to make sure that all the students or all the participant in the class, they should have access to the digital devices where the task is being given, and they are trying to sort out their problems or any task which is being given without or with minimal involvement of the teacher present in the class. So this is actually what they are trying to develop. These skills are developed, like I already explained, this is digital literacy, digital learning, use of the online tools, and how to extract information like ChatGPT is there or DeepSeek is there. So all these apps, whatever AI apps are being used, even sometime nowadays we are talking about ML, machine learning. So how we are using these things inside the classroom, like nowadays students, they should be very well aware of simulations like lab simulations, especially they are one of the most important parameter of independent learning. So this is first thing, that how you are engaging students and in independent learning, how independently they can work, and moreover how they can monitor their own learning. So they should be knowing what exactly we were supposed to do and how much we have achieved. Now if you go to the next element of standard 1.3, which is learning skill, this says students interaction, collaboration, and communication skills. Now this can be between student to student within the peers, and it can be between student and the teacher on that spot, or sometimes it can be between the student and the online app where they are actually free FAQs they use to put forward, or some of the queries they like flip learning they want to go for. So these are the skills they should be very much familiar with. They should know how I'm going to interact, how we can work collaboratively to achieve one specific goal within our lesson. Okay, I will take one example. Like, for example, if we are taking very good, if a school want to achieve very good in learning scale in 1.3.2, student interaction and collaboration. So if you just take one example, student interact and collaborate purposefully. Now, here, very good and outstanding, there is the difference of only one word, which is in very good, it is effectively, and in fact, in very good, it is purposefully, and in outstanding, it is effectively. So these are the minor things which make a progress moving from one rank, one stage to the next. So this is a gradual process. Gradual process means you have to only aspire. For example, if the school is there at acceptable rating, if the school is at acceptable rating, so you can prepare your students at least one level, or you can go for the second level or at very good level. Only then what will happen, if you prepare your student for very good, only then at the end of the day maybe you are most likely to get good. So this is also, instead of preparing your school is acceptable and you are preparing student for good, so god forbid if your efforts were not enough, so maybe it will cause different kind of problem, like you may not be able to get accreditation like the desired result that you are looking for in this learning skills. Now if we go for in the learning skill, the third element, which is application of learning to world and making connection between the areas of learning. Now you have to make a connection. We call it in school inspection framework, connection with the real world. Whatever you are learning inside the classroom, regardless of the topic, regardless of the subject, how you can relate, what are you learning in your classroom, how you can relate it with the outer world. So this is one of the most important part. You should know how you are going to do it. For example, as a good school, students make clear connections between the areas of learning with the world, clear connection. But as a very good school, what we need to do, like students regularly make meaningful connections. Okay, here it is not regularly, it is rarely or sometimes, they are making connection. But on regular basis, if the students they are making a connection to the real world, so it's mean the school is very good. And if they are consistently doing it, consistently means in one school environment, all subjects in all levels, they are actually making their connection of their lesson to the real world. So this is called consistently, like throughout the school, regardless of the topic or the subject. This is very important. And now the element for learning skills, which is fourth element, it is innovation and enterprise. Okay, this is one of the challenging part. Even some of the outstanding schools also, they are struggling in this element. What exactly they need to do, like students are innovative and enterprising, they should know what exactly they are doing, how they can apply this thing in their real world, in their real life, and what kind of benefit they can get for themselves and for the community. This is the outcome. So now if this is the ultimate outcome, like what exactly they are learning inside the classroom, what benefit they can get in future for themselves, and what kind of benefit they can give back to the community. So these are the things that they have to know. So on the basis of this last ladder, okay, the highest achievement, they have to make sure that how they are going to categorize. Your school is going to see into how you are moving from one ladder to the next. You have to assess your current situation and make some arrangements in learning skills to showcase that actually you are progressing where you were according to the ministry report, and where are you now, showing there is an improvement with the help of the data. Now next, curriculum expectation, which is above. This is one of the main, sometime I call it, this is $1 million question, like how we are going to determine what are the curriculum in line with the curriculum expectation and above the curriculum expectation. In my today's presentation, we were just talking about how actually we can do above the curriculum expectation, because once a school is at good rating, all the things now they have to work for above the curriculum level, curriculum standards. So learners are not. So what is the meaning of curriculum expectation? So they actually not only meeting their curriculum standard, whatever the standard is being set for them, in fact they exceed, they work extra. This is above the curriculum standard. For example, in an American curriculum school, if a grade 6 student, they are expected by CCSS, Common Core State Standards, to write a structured essay. Then above expectation means, now there are categories, bullets are there, like write more sophisticated vocabulary beyond their level, whatever they are doing. And then they demonstrate critical thinking and original ideas. They bring from, they brainstorm from their own, they bring some critical thinking analysis or critical thinking process into their write-ups. And then when they are actually transforming their ideas, they have their original ideas and they are trying to explore them. Then obviously, like we were talking about, this is how they relate this thing with the real world, or with the cross curriculum. Like for example, they are studying English, how they can relate this thing with math or sciences, or other humanitarian humanitarian kind of subjects like social studies, or even their religious studies also, they can come into play in this context also, and they always perform at a level which is expected from them above than that. For example, if a student is in grade 5 and now the student is writing like grade 7 or grade 8 student, always they perform above their expected standards. Now, here, if you see, to be very honest, learning objective, crafting the learning objective is an art. We are very much aware of, like you have to craft your learning objective according to your Bloom taxonomy. So if a school is in good or very good rating, then the learning objective should be drafted in the way it is being drafted in front of you, which we are starting from the middle level of Bloom taxonomy, which is explain and analyze whatever the process is, and then we are going for the highest level of Bloom taxonomy, which is creation, creating innovative ideas, or they are actually they plan or something, some vocabulary of this such kind we have to go for. But if your school is at the rating of acceptable, then what we need to do, the learning objective that you are going to craft, you can add into like define and explain. And the third learning objective, normally I suggest there should be only a couple of learning objectives within one lesson, so you can easily achieve them. Success criteria you can divide into three different levels. Okay, this can be done. But normally the learning objectives, they set your class, they determine how you are going to manage with your classes. And good inspectors always they judge the learning through the learning objective. If you craft learning objective in such a way which is achievable according to the level of your student what you want, and they are clear, they are with clear objectives, and they can be measured quantitatively with numbers, only then you are going to achieve what exactly is expected of you to achieve. Now, what we will do, like there should be a kind of feedback if you want to give for this session, and you can give your feedback in in chat box. You can send me your message in the chat box. Okay, and similarly what I'll be doing this session which have just I'm going to wind up this session, what we will do, I will be uploading in in my YouTube channel, and you can follow me through my LinkedIn account also, which I will be sharing it now shortly, with the same group that you got the link and all. Okay, thank you very much for your time. And I really appreciate that. I hope this session, through this session, some of the things you'll be taking away and you can do and implement in your own institute. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you very much. It was indeed a very good session, and I appreciate Anwar for your contribution, the way you explained the things and you correlate the things. It's wonderful. I must say that is it's marvelous.
Thank you very much, Dr. Khurram. I really appreciate, and I appreciate you took a time for me for this session. Thank you.
It's always love to listen to you, so that's why I'm here. And I have learned a lot of things from this conversation, and I hope your other participants will be benefited from this session.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
so much.
much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khurram. Thank you. These words they mean for me. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum all.